Think talent alone will get you to the top? Think again, my friend, because your raw abilities, well, that's just the beginning of it, right? Let's discover what you need to do to keep winning way beyond talent. Hey there, my name is Isai Rodriguez and I'm your friend. And this here is where we build your leadership skills and your home business profits one actionable tip at a time. So hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and let's get started. So today I've got a killer episode lined up for you. We're diving into why talent alone won't get you to the top and what you need to do to keep winning in the world of direct selling, network marketing, and home business and all that good stuff. So things are about to get real right now, right? I've just gotten back. I've had a hell of a month and a half or so. I came down with COVID. Me and the wife came down with COVID. We were down for about almost a half month. Then I had a death in the family, and then my in-laws who are with us also as well came down with COVID. So it was a whole mess, but we're back in action now, right? So I'd like to kick things off today with a question, right? And so, have you ever known someone who had all the talent in the world, but like they never seemed to make it big, right? Have you, like, maybe you're that person, right? You know, like you've got the skills, you've got the smarts, you've got the charm, right? But somehow you're not exactly where it is that you want to be. Well, you see, talent is like a shiny new car, right? It looks great and it can get you to places fast and all that stuff. But if you don't like do things like put gas in the car, right? If you don't maintain your car, then if that's what you do, like then you're going to end up stranded on the side of the road. Am I right? Philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson nailed it when he said this. He said, talent for talent's sake is a bauble and a show, right? In other words, talent on its own is just a show. That's just for you to show people or put on a show, right? It's what you do with that talent that really counts, all right? Take a look at the world of direct selling and network marketing, right? Talent might get you noticed at the start, right? It'll potentially get you going. Maybe you're a natural when it comes to talking to people. Maybe you've got that charisma that draws people towards you. All of that is awesome, and it's great for you to start off with, right? In fact, talent could potentially give you a head start, right? Like a sprinter at the beginning of a race. But guess what? That head start doesn't last forever if you don't continue running, right? What use is it to be, to start off a race with a head start? What's the point of the head start if you either don't start running and you just stand where you started, or you start to run and then you just kind of stop? Right? What's the point of that? Seriously, like imagine you facing off with Usain Bolt, right? For the 100-meter race. And let's also imagine that in this race, Usain gives you a 50-meter head start. You're both prepped. You're both ready to go. You're both in your running stances, waiting for the gun to signal the start of the race, right? The gun goes off. You both start running as fast as you can. And then after your first 20 meters, you literally just stop running. Who's going to win that race despite the head start? Yeah, as you'd expect, Usain would win, right? Shoot, he'd probably win even if you kept running, right? But the point is this: just because you have a head start, right, aka you have natural talent, right, doesn't mean that you're gonna win the race if you don't continue running, right? If you don't continue to put in the work, right? Does that make sense? Novelist Charles Wilson, he put it this way. He says no matter the size of the bottle, no matter the size of the bottle, the cream within the bottle always rises to the top. Think about that. That's really deep if you really sit back and think about that. Meaning, like, it doesn't matter the size of the bottle. The bottle itself is irrelevant. Big, small, thin, wide. It doesn't matter. It's the cream that's in the bottle. That cream will always rise to the top of that bottle. No matter the shape, no matter the size, no matter the material that it's made of, it doesn't matter. Right? Talent stands out at the beginning, but it's just the start, right? To keep rising, to stay at the top, you need more than just talent. You need hard work. You need grit. You need persistence, right? You need a drive that doesn't quit. That's what it takes. That's what creates the proverbial cream, right? Now let's talk about why it is that some talented people fail. So talented people fail because, well, first and foremost, they rest on their laurels, right? They have the head start in the 100-meter race, but they stop running after the 20 meters, right? They think, hey, I've got this talent. I'm set. I'm good to go. There's no way I can't win, right? That's their thought. Right? But here's the cold, hard truth is that if you're just winging it, just relying on your natural gifts, like sooner or later, right? Someone who's working harder will fly right past you. Okay. Like, ask me how I know. All right. Go ahead. Ask me. I dare you. All right. Okay. I'll tell you. I was that talented person that thought like, oh, I'm good. I'm out in front. I've got this. I'm the man. All that. I was, as we used to say, my head was all gassed up. Right. I had this. I just thought that I was the rabbit, the proverbial rabbit in the race against the turtle. Right. You know the story, right? The rabbit was out in front, and then he decided to take a nap because he thought, well, hey, I'm way ahead in this race. Right? I can afford to take a quick nap. Why not? I'll take a break. And by the time I wake up, that turtle's still going to be behind me. Right? And then while he was sleeping, the turtle was, he was putting in the work. He was running. He kept going. He kept that steady pace. And he ran past them slowly, but he ran past them and he won the race. All right? So don't sleep on your competitors. Don't stop running until you finish the race. Okay. Stephen King, the master of horror, said this. He said, talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work. I mean, what does Stephen King know about success, right? He's only the #1 horror story writer in history for as long as I can remember, and I think he still is, and, I'm not that, so, I mean, that's a long time, because I'm not necessarily young, so as long as I can remember, he's always been like the number. But think about that. Think about what he said. Talent is common, but hard work, that's rare, right? And that's what makes all the difference, really. Like, so now, how do you keep winning in direct selling and network marketing and home business, like in these arenas? How is it? Do we continue to win? How do we continue running? What does this look like? Well, here it is. Here's the secret sauce. Okay, the way that you continue running in your race. When you're in that race and you're heading towards that finish line, is through the continuous improvement and your relentless effort, right? Don't just rely on what you're good at. Okay. Don't just look at your talent and say to yourself, like, I got this. I don't have to run as hard. Like, I don't have to put in as much work. I don't have to be as consistent. I don't have to have as much grit as my, competitors, right? Because here's the thing. Someone else who doesn't have your talent is going to come along and steal your thunder. Why? Because they're going to put in the work. They're going to put the grit, the initiative that you don't put in, right? If you're putting 90% in and someone comes in and puts 95%, they're going to beat you because they're 5% ahead of you. Does that make sense? Someone who's not as fast as you is going to come along like and run right past you while you're napping. Okay? Someone who can't do what you do naturally is going to come along and work harder. And what comes natural, like they're going to work harder at what comes natural to you, right? They're going to do this because, well, they have to, right? They have to work harder than you because, well, their talent isn't up to your level, right? But again, even though you have the talent, you still need to put in the work. And in doing so, when they do that, when you do like they're gonna, if they put in more work than you, they're gonna end up passing you. And if you take your foot off the gas, right? So push yourself to get better every single day, right? Learn more about your products, improve your sales pitches, right? Practice, telling your story. Work at building stronger relationships with your team, with your customers. I know in this day and age, like, all the digital and the internet and all this good stuff and like people have lost touch with other people, right? You need to be building relationships with others, right? Because at the end of the day, all business is all about serving people, right? Does that make sense? So you need to learn how to build relationships, right? Just never stop growing. Don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Don't ever take for granted the power of someone else's determination and grit, right? Because again, think about the story of the tortoise and the hare, right? If you sleep, the slower competitors will pass you with ease eventually, right? Here's another excellent quote from Irvin Berlin, right? He says this. He goes, he says, the toughest thing about success is that you've got to keep on being a success, right? Talent is only a starting point in business. You've got to keep working that talent. That's, again, it's not enough to simply make it to the top. You've got to stay there. And the way that you stay there, right, is by putting in the work. You should want to stay there. And that staying there, staying at the top, that takes effort. That takes grit. It takes determination. It takes a relentless work habit, a mindset of I'm going to do what it takes to get to the top. And then I'm going to do what it takes to stay at the top. Right? Does that make sense? So here's your challenge for you today. Think about one area where you're relying too much on your natural talent, right? Maybe it's your people skills. Maybe it's your knowledge of the products. Maybe it's your ability to close a sale or to find those perfect recruits, right? Now, once you've identified it, once you've identified that one thing that that you're good at, commit to improving in that area or in the other areas, right? Read a book, take a course, practice until you're better than ever. Right? Don't let your talent go to waste. That's the bottom line. You want to fuel it with hard work and don't stop until you're at the top. All right. Remember, talent it's gonna get you noticed, but hard work is what keeps you winning. And if you want to stay at the top, again, you've got to keep pushing. You've got to keep learning. You have to keep hustling. All right. So there you have it, my friends. That's my tip for today. Stay hungry, stay focused, and keep crushing it. All right. If you found this episode helpful, if you found it inspiring, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. And if you have any questions or any topics that you feel, you'd like to talk about, you like to cover, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to follow the link in the description for access to my free masterclass training where I'll show you firsthand how to put all these tips into action today. Until the next time, I want you to stay legendary, my friends. I'll catch you on the next episode. Take care now. Bye.